In tonight's headlines, sources said the new pair of giant pandas gifted by Beijing to the city will arrive as early as Thursday. Starting today, Hong Kong's stock market will remain open even under typhoon signal number 8 or a black rainstorm. And police are questioned whether they have followed relevant behavioral guidelines when they opened fire at a mentally ill man after he allegedly attacked his family in North Point last Sunday.
Sources said the new pair of giant pandas gifted to the city by the central government is expected to arrive in Hong Kong from Sichuan as early as Thursday. While they already have names in Sichuan, the SAR government is mulling to organize a naming competition to give them new names. Currently, the pair is still undergoing quarantine in Sichuan and needs to be quarantined for at least another 30 days. Even after completing their quarantine, the pandas will not meet the public immediately, as Ocean Park will monitor their adaptation and reaction to people before gradually increasing their exposure to visitors, which may take a few months.
Starting today, come typhoon signal number 8 or black rainstorm, Hong Kong's stock market will remain open as a new rule ending the city's decades-long practice of market closures during severe weather comes into effect.
咁投資者其實有選擇嘅。
Speaking to iCable News, Hong Kong Exchanges and Clearing Deputy Executive Director Wilfred Yiu said, despite a few small security firms were not yet ready to keep trading in adverse weather, their clients are not left with no choice under the new arrangement since 99.9% of the local securities firms are ready, and investors can choose any firms or banks to handle their orders according to their own needs. Yu noted that the new measure can help mitigate investors' risk as they will now be able to close their positions or act accordingly in time when volatility is observed in foreign markets during typhoons, which previously they were not able to do because of market closures. Nonetheless, he reiterated that the safety of staff is of utmost importance because some of them may still have to travel to their workplace in bad weather, adding that the observatory had done a great job in making early announcement when Typhoon Yagi hit the city earlier this month so employers could make appropriate arrangements to ensure the safety of staff. Separately, in a social media post, Secretary for Financial Services and the Treasury Christopher Hui reiterated that the new measure is an important reform that has gone through a thorough planning process to ensure stability and order of tradings. He added that, as an international financial center, Hong Kong must continue to improve its various trading mechanisms in order to step up the city's competitiveness. Baslang Cable News.
Police are urged to clarify whether frontline officers have followed the set of behavioral guidelines when dealing with the fatal incident in which a man with history of mental illness was shot by police in North Point last Sunday. According to the Behavioral Indicators Guide in dealing with mentally incapacitated persons outlined in the police force website, when officers are facing several behaviors about MIPs, including being aggressive and rapidly changing moods, they are advised to respect the individual's situation and to speak slowly and use simple language to calm them down.
佢哋第一要有知識啦。
Lawmaker Doreen Kong said the force first needs comprehensive information when communicating with MIPs, avoiding certain behaviors such as speaking loudly. She highlighted that this case was not the first report involving the man, who is believed to have had previous interactions with the police and has recent medication usage. While it took a few minutes for the officers to arrive on the scene, she questioned if they had maximized their efforts to understand the individual involved during that period.
General 嘅指引一定有。
Meanwhile, advisor to the chairman of the Junior Police Officers Association, Joe Chan, said The general guidelines for handling mental health crises are always available, but on-the-ground realities might not always allow for strict adherence to these protocols. Chan noted that the frontline officers have regular training on handling mental patients. Although using guns should be avoided, it is needed in dangerous situations. He added that the operational guidelines are reviewed at least once a year and will make sure to update frontline officers with the latest treatment in specific cases. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
A debate over fairness has risen after a dominant school football team was excluded from a prestigious tournament due to late registration, with their appeal for a second chance also denied. Lawmaker Lawrence Tan from the education sector said students from the Yanchai Hospital Tongzhi Memorial Secondary School should be given the chance for competition despite an administrative error. He expressed hope that the School Sports Federation of Hong Kong, China, and the school could find a compromise to address this situation. However, former Deputy Board Chief of the Federation, Len Tong-chun, said, while it was a painful lesson for the school and its students, organizers must treat all schools in a fair manner. Chun noted there were precedents for similar mistakes, and all parties adhere to the established rules. He stressed that it would be chaotic if rules are wantonly tampered with. However, Chun suggested the school to host their own invitational tournament so that the team can still have a chance to compete with other schools. The school earlier attributed the missed deadline to the previous physical education head's lack of cooperation. They claimed the teacher, who was the only one with access to the registration system, failed to hand over the login credentials after leaving the position. In response, the former teacher reported to the Education Workers Union, accusing the school of shifting blame, which has seriously damaged the teacher's reputation. The Federation confirmed that it processed the school's application to reset the password in August, which was acknowledged by the school. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Renowned molecular biologist Dennis Low has been recommended as the sole candidate to become the next president and vice-chancellor of the Chinese University of Hong Kong, according to an internal email issued by the university's council. Currently an associate dean of the university's Faculty of Medicine, Low has been working at the CUHK for 27 years, responsible for research affairs. He is also the chairman of the Department of Chemical Pathology, president of the Hong Kong Academy of Sciences, and a member of the Research Strategy Expert Group under the Chief Executive's Policy Unit. Low is known for pioneering non-invasive prenatal testing and diagnosing various genetic disorders, earning him the title of Father of Non-Invasive Prenatal Testing. The university will hold a meet and greet session on Thursday for Low to engage with students, staff, and alumni, while the council will meet on Friday to make a final decision on the nomination.
The Ministry of State Security warned today a Taiwan military-backed hacker group called Anonymous 64 has been carrying out cyber attacks against the mainland and the two SARs of Hong Kong and Macau, urging citizens to be vigilant against such anti-propaganda sabotage. State media CCTV cited the ministry's statement and reported that the group has sought to upload and broadcast content that denigrates the mainland political system and major policies on websites, outdoor screens, and network TV stations since the beginning of this year. The ministry identified the hacker group as an internet army under Taiwan's Information, Communications, and Electronic Force Command, which is specifically responsible for conducting cyber-cognitive warfare and public opinion warfare against the mainland. Officials also said they had opened a case against 3 members of Taiwan cyber warfare wing, namely Luo Junming, Hong Liqi, and Liao Weilun. In a related statement, the ministry advised netizens not to believe or spread rumors and promptly report such cases to national security authorities. In response, Taiwan denied the allegations and accused mainland of threatening the island's cybersecurity and undermining regional peace. The island has for years accused Chinese groups of seeking to spread online disinformation or carry out cyber attacks against it. In June, it claimed the mainland hacker group known as Red Juliet were observed attacking its election campaigns in January and the subsequent change in administration. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
In Japan, former Prime Minister Yoshihiko Noda was elected as the leader of the Constitutional Democratic Party, the main opposition party. The party held an extraordinary convention on Monday, selecting its leadership from 4 candidates in a runoff vote. In the first round of the election, none of the candidates won the outright majority of the votes. While in the second round, 67-year-old Noda beat former Chief Cabinet Secretary Yukio Idano by 232 points to 180 points. After winning the leadership election, Noda said, regardless of who becomes the president of Liberal Democratic Party and the country's prime minister, there will be a lower house dissolution at an early stage. Noda called for a change of government and maximizing the number of seats held by the opposition parties. Noda's term as CDP president will last until the end of September 2027, succeeding the current president Kenta Izumi, whose term expires at the end of September.
U.S. authorities confirmed that no arrests have been made following a mass shooting that claimed the lives of at least 4 and injured 17 others at a popular nightclub district in Birmingham, Alabama on late Saturday night. Police reported that 3 people, 2 men and a woman, were found dead on the scene from gunshot wounds, while another male victim was pronounced dead at a hospital. Meanwhile, 4 of the injured are in life-threatening conditions. Police characterized the incident as a targeted attack involving multiple shooters who were paid to hit on one of the victims and believed the intended target was among the dead. They also said approximately 100 shell casings were recovered at the scene, and the investigators suspect that the firearms are equipped with illegal switches that turn them into fully automatic weapons. The deadly incident marks the 3rd mass shooting in Birmingham this year and the 23rd across America, according to a mass killings database maintained by the Associated Press.